Greetings, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to my new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast series. We have been overwhelmed with the responses that people have shared from listening to these messages on my SiriusXM show over the years. Those listeners, and they're sharing my show with their network, telling people about it, telling their family members, their friends, and their coworkers about this show and the impact it's having on their lives. That's the main reason that this show is now #1 for self-help in America, and I'm very grateful. Yet, we realize that many people do not have satellite radio and therefore could not experience for themselves the message. They could not get it for themselves. So we are now sharing these messages with everyone via this new podcast. Enjoy it and share it with your network. And let's help even more people to do more, be more, and achieve more. Tell everybody so that they can live a Wealthy Ways life as well. Welcome to the new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. And remember, your best is yet to come.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
You're tired of crying and complaining, tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair. Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do? Well, just look in any mirror and you'll see who is really truly stopping you. My mind. It's up to every one of us to take charge of our life and to make it what we want. If you think that it takes too much time, think again, 'cause I'm telling you it don't. The fact is, it only takes a minute to make up your mind that now is your time to make your run. It only takes a minute, 60 seconds to begin to decide to win. Just get it on. Just get it on.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I am so grateful to be able to be on the air for you and with you one more time. I'm grateful. Every time is a blessing. Every opportunity I get to be with you and share some strategies, ideas, and tips to help you to have greater success. You know, my mentor and friend Zig Ziglar used to say it so wonderfully. If you can help enough other people get what they want, you will get everything you want. And I found that to be absolutely true. So I'm always trying to help others to get what they want. And I've learned as I do, it comes back to me multiple ways and multiple times over and over again. So I am grateful. You know, I start this show the same with God's Minute. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, just a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. And I start this minute with God's Minute, this show with that minute, because God give me so many wonderful things, and every minute is a blessing. And I take a moment of the beginning of this show, and have been since I started this show 10 years ago. Can you believe that? 10 years, and now it's the #1 self-help show in America. But I am grateful that at the beginning of every show I give God glory, I give him praise, I give him honor, and I am grateful for what he has done. Not just the fact that this show is #1, not that my books are bestsellers, not that I'm on radio, and not only here on XM but on WHUR and other places. Not only that the radio and television is starting to take off globally, but for life, for strength, yes. For life and strength and health. Wow, what a blessing. That's a great thing to be grateful for. just life and strength and health and good friends. And today I've got a good friend. I've got a good friend who is on with me, and you're going to be blessed by having him to be a part of your life. I'm telling you in advance, you better get ready, get ready, get ready. I met this gentleman at the National Speakers Association at a meeting, and I kept hearing people whisper, you know, he's the guy who started Selling Power magazine. He's the founder. I said, really? They said, yeah. Wow. So I think we just greeted each other. And then some time ago, not too distant past, he contacted me, and we started talking about potentially me doing some things with some of his big conferences. And we had lunch. Once we had lunch, we clicked like we'd known each other forever. Same ideas, same thinking. Don't talk about people, don't talk about things. We talk only about ideas, and big people talk about ideas. And I was just grateful. And so his name is Gerhard Gschwantdner. Now that's a very distinct name. And for those who know about different parts of the world, you'll know that that is not a typical American name, because he's not from America. He's from Austria, like Arnold. Anyway, his name is Gerhard Gschwantdner. He is the founder and CEO of Selling Power magazine. Many of you have heard about that major magazine, one of the top sales magazines in the world. He also owns a media company that produces the award-winning Selling Power magazine and Selling Power television, a daily video interview series on sales success. He developed and hosts the Sales 3.0 conference, which helps sales leaders integrate sales technology into their organization to create more effectiveness and greater customer value. He has done so much over the years. Over the last 3 decades, he has interviewed some of the most successful leaders in the world, including Mary Kay Ash, who started Mary Kay Cosmetics. I had the opportunity to meet her some years ago. Michael Dell, George Foreman, Larry Ellison, Richard Branson, Jay Leno, Meg Whitman, and many, many, many more, including myself. And so I'm grateful. He's the author of 17 books on the subject of sales, management, and motivation. And he received the Sales and Marketing Executives International 2010 Ambassador of Free Enterprise Award. He is a man who makes things happen, and I'm honored to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Gerhard Gschwantdner. Gerhard, are you there, my friend?
I am here, and I'm listening. I'm fascinated by your voice and mentioning Zig Ziglar in the opening. And it reminds me when I interviewed Zig Ziglar for a cover story of Selling Power, he had a very unique definition of success, and I want to share it with you because it's interesting. A lot of people compare their success to the success of others. And he says you're looking outside for a solution. You should be looking inside. And he said success is not measured by what you have done compared to others, but compared to what you were capable of doing.
Wow. Woo! Man, that's great. Well, I gave them the thumbnail sketch. Why don't you give me a little more about who you are, where you come from, and all the above?
Well, I grew up in Austria, and my grandmother ran a country inn. She was a waitress, actually, that saved her tips and leased a place, then purchased it. And she was a very influential person in my development. And I remember at age 5, we had a lot of American tourists that came to us, and they asked me to get them some worms to fish, and this is something I did initially for free, and then more people came back and they gave me money, and then I filled little matchboxes with worms and sold it to them for like a shilling, which is maybe a dime today, and I felt so good about helping other people be successful and making money in the process. And that's what selling is all about. And when I was 9 years old, I made a plan for my life. And I said, I want to have a business like my grandmother. The second idea was to have a hot dog stand. And the third idea was to create a newspaper. Because I loved the way people got involved and engaged in newspapers. And I thought it's an interesting thing. And I always thought America was the greatest country in the world because I met so many Americans and I saw their shiny big cars, and I thought that would be a great dream to have. And lo and behold, I worked for a French multinational company after I graduated from college, and worked with them for 2 years in Austria. Then they moved me to their headquarters in Paris, and then I moved to the United States. And I was involved in sales, and I fell in love with the United States immediately because of the freedom. You can start your own business. I married an American, and it was, to me, I went from what I would call from self-limiting beliefs back in Austria to liberating beliefs in the United States, and I really was filled with the idea that I can do anything I want to do. Like Zig Ziglar, you can get anything in life you want, providing you help enough other people what they want. And my mission was to create a sales training company originally, but then I came upon the idea of creating a magazine that was initially a newspaper, and it was my childhood dream. And I called it, at the time, Personal Selling Power. And I interviewed people like Zig Ziglar or Tony Robbins and Jay Leno and, Mark Benioff, the founder of Salesforce.com. We did a cover story with Bill Gates, with Larry Ellison, with Richard Branson, with with Mary Kay Ash, so many fascinating people. And that's how I learned about business. I learned about success from interviewing those people. And this is actually something that led me to believe that if you hang around very successful people, it will rub off on you because you learn from their mindset. And the way we grow up as children, we get what I call the implanted mindset, where you learn the beliefs and behaviors of your grandparents, of your parents, from your family. And that is very helpful that as we grow to become adults, we get exposed to other mentors and coaches and teachers, and we learn from them, and we integrate some of their ideas. And then we find out that some of the things that we believed way back when is no longer helping us, so we need to adapt those belief systems, and we need to grow. And that's what I was trying to do with Selling Power Magazine, to expose salespeople to very positive and very successful people and give them more choices so they can learn alternate beliefs and create better behaviors and become more successful.
Wow. Well, folks, he did it. He did it. He started that little magazine, really was a newspaper, and he built the biggest selling magazine in America. A couple of things I want to say as we get ready to go to this first break. One is, some of you will say, well, he's talking about sales. What that got to do with me? Well, if you're going to be successful, you better understand sales. I'm telling everybody, if you want to be successful in any venture, in any industry, you better understand sales, because every successful person I know understands the power of sales. I'll give you a great example. My son is an attorney. He came to me about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and said, hey, look, I want to start my company, and I'm going to be taking content from musicians and putting it with film companies and so forth. I said, you better learn how to sell. And he took me to heart, and he left his law practice, got a job with a sales company. The first 3 months, he couldn't sell his way out of a paper bag. But they taught him how to sell. By the 4th or 5th month, he made his first sale. By the 7th or 8th month, he was one of the top in his company, and locally, then nationally. Then he left the job. Now he started his own company and is selling, because he got over his fear of selling and his understanding that you got to sell in order to reap. Well, we're going to be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. We've got a lot to talk to you about how you can grow your wealth and your mindset. That's the key mindset. We'll be right back, and for sure, your best is yet to come.
Call me, call me, call me, call me, yes. Call me, oh yes. Call me if you need me. Call me, then call me, call me, call me. Say you need a friend who'll be there when you win. Let's stand right by your side if you lose. Someone you can call in the midnight
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and if you're enjoying this information you're hearing on this podcast, I want to invite you to get even more great information on my new free gift page on my website. Go to wjspeaks.com and hit the All Access badge. On that page, you will find information and resources specifically designed to help you to have greater success. Free ebooks, music, all sorts of interesting and informational interviews from my XM show. I'm telling you, this is a great page. And why do I do it? Because I've learned that the more we give, the more we get. And the more we help other people to grow and go to the next level, the more we receive in our business. So we want to help you. Tell your friends about it. Go to Facebook and get my information. Go to my website, get my free resources, and get on wjspeaks.com and hit that All Access badge. It looks like a backstage pass. Click it. You'll get behind the scenes information to the special page to help you grow. All we want in return, all we ask is that you pass it on, because the more you give, the more you get. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day. And we're back. You're listening to Dr. Willie Jolley, the host of the Willie Jolley Show. I'm grateful to be here. I want to encourage everybody who's listening, if you have not gone to my website and gotten some of the free goodies we have on the website, go to williejolly.com/gift, or just go to the wjspeaks.com. Either one will get you to my main website, wjspeaks.com. Hit the All Access badge. It looks like a backstage pass. You'll get a copy of the book Think and Grow Rich, a digital copy. You'll get my book Leaps of Faith. You'll get some of my motivational music. You'll get some of my XM shows that you might not have heard that have been life-changing for me. You'll get some of my other resources that will help you grow your business, your finances, your faith, your families. So go to wjspeaks.com, hit the All Access badge, and get some of those free access items. Now, my special guest today is the founder and CEO of Selling Power Magazine and Selling Power Media, Gerhard Gschwantdner, who came to America as a young entrepreneur with a desire to try and do something with his life. He wasn't sure what he was going to do, but he knew he had this dream and the desire to do more, be more, and achieve more, and he did it. And I'm telling you that he has created a major company because he believed in his dream and he went and fought for his dream. And that's one of the things I want to talk about, Gerhard. You came here. I love the story that you share when we talked about how you wanted to start a company and you had to be encouraged by your wife. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, it was interesting because the same year we had, my wife and I had twins. And the twins were 7 months old. And I always had that itch, that dream, that goal to start my own business. And I thought, that's a risky decision. And I asked her, what do you think about that? And she said, we have a little savings, and you can try it for 3 months, and if it doesn't work, you can always take a job as a sales manager. So there's not that much risk. And she says, go and work on your dream, and you're motivated, you're talented. And she gave me a lot of encouragement and sort of permission. And we lived in a small townhouse, and I had my office in the basement, and she was working upstairs. And when she needed me, she just stomped on the floor, and I would run upstairs and help her with the children. And it was an exciting time because we didn't have much money, but I had that big dream, and I was totally committed. And I had that fire in the belly that immigrants have. And I didn't give up. And there were a lot of disappointments. And many times I had to face rejection. But ultimately it worked. And when I had that transition from being a sales trainer to doing the magazine, originally I I created that magazine to sell my sales training course. So it was not really an original idea. I sent out 25,000 copies, and I had a 2-page ad about my course, and I had articles on sales training. So people called me and said, "Can I buy extra copies?" And I asked him, "Why do you want to buy extra copies?" He says, "I want to share them with my salespeople." And I said, "Wow." He said, "They're really interesting articles and that can help them." And then I got more calls from the first issue of Volume 1, Number 1. I sold 3,000 copies.
Wow.
So then I thought, well, this is enough encouragement to do Volume 1, Number 2. And I had a little ad that says, if you want to buy extra copies, send me 69 cents. You got to buy at least 5. And I sold 4,000 copies. And then my wife says, "Well, I think you have a new business here." I said, "What's the new business?"
Yes, I think there's something here.
Right. People buy your direct mail piece, but what they're really buying is a publication. And then I said, well, then I would have to commit to at least 6 issues a year. And how do I do that? And she says, well, you'll learn. You know how to study. You've done the first two editions. So I made a commitment, and I said, why don't you help me design an ad? And we charge, let's say, $12 a year for a 1-year subscription. And I said, if we get 500 subscriptions or more, I'll continue. If I get less, I refund the money and say, sorry, it didn't work. And within 6 weeks, I had 1,200 paid subscriptions. And by the end of the year, at 7,500, and the following year in '82, something really magical happened, which is 90% of them renewed.
Wow.
And so we got money without having to sell very hard. And then, get this, I still haven't realized that there's value in that. I still had to do sales training, but somebody called me and says, can I run an ad in your publication, in your newspaper? And I said, well, why not? And I said, well, what do you offer? And he says, $1,000. And I thought, wow, this is a great idea. And so then other people called, and then I thought maybe I should hire a part-time advertising salesperson, and that's what I did. And ultimately, we built it up, and every time I made an extra dollar, I put it in more quality editorial, hired more people, went to a glossy magazine, and then we were on the newsstands. And I want to tell you one story that's really gratifying. Recently, I was in Chicago and at a trade show, and there was a gentleman walked up to me, and he says, the biggest fight I ever had with my wife was over Selling Power magazine. I said, well, how did that happen? And he says, well, I lived in South Africa, and we got I got a promotion to go to Israel and to move. So we had to move from South Africa to Israel. And it was in my living room, and I was boxing up all the copies of Selling Power magazine, like 10 years worth. And my wife said, this is not going. And he said, why not? And she said, well, this is too much. This is too expensive to ship to Israel from South Africa. And he says, this is my investment in my professional education. I cannot let this go. And she says, well, I make you a deal. You can pick 10 issues, 10 copies, and that's all. Either this, it's either me or what's Selling Power. Wow. And he settled for 12 copies.
So that shows the power, though, of information on wealth building. And I want everybody to understand that the reason why I bring these great thinkers is because I want everybody who listens to this show to create greater wealth for their families, for their futures, for their faith, be able to give to your church or to your community, also for your legacy. I think it's very important that you leave a legacy. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's grandchildren. Oh, good woman. And so whether you are self-employed, an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur, or you're trying to create something for your legacy, you gotta have a understanding of how to get that idea out of your head, or that concept, or that value-based program out of your head into somebody else's head through your word and what you say. So you got to be able to sell that idea. And so we're excited about being able to have. Now, you talk about, Gerhard, you talk about the fact that it's important that you work on mindset. And that's where I think this is where I want to really dig in. What drives success of any venture, of any person, is mindset. There are two sets.
Well, I want to share.
Yeah.
I want to share a few ideas on how I came about. So, as you're listening to us, you get ideas. So, I've been studying self-talk for a long time, and ask myself, how do you look at self-talk? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it realistic? Is it unrealistic? So we are talking to ourselves all the time. So I found a study, National Institute of Health found that we engage in self-talk to the tune of 60,000 words a day.
Wow.
So we are constantly talking to ourselves. And it's the self-talk that interferes with our perception of reality. We are not paying attention 40% of the time. We are not in the present moment. And what's worse is that 80% of our self-talk is negative. Mm-hmm. So self-talk is an important part of the mindset, and the mindset is the sum total of all feelings and attitudes and behaviors and beliefs that dictate our choices. So we have a mindset that influences our skill set, that influences our tool set. And that's what success is all about. It's all about the right mindset, the right skill set, and the right tool set. So the important question you need to ask yourself, am I mindful, or is my mind full?
Say that one more time. Now, that was good. That's good. Go ahead.
Am I mindful, or is my mind full? And what successful achievers and peak performers are doing, they create greater awareness of their self-talk, of their feelings, of their dreams, of their behaviors, and their beliefs. And you need to look at all five. And we talked about self-talk, but a lot of people are not aware of that they have a choice that can translate self-talk by asking themselves questions. How is that statement that I make about myself serving me and helping me reach my goals? And in most cases, it doesn't.
That's so powerful. That's powerful. Folks, I got to jump in here for a moment, and we're going to jump back into Gerhard. But many people, they are filling up their mind with garbage, with junk, with stuff that's not going to help them be anything, do anything. Watching reality shows, who said what about this one, this group of married women hollering, screaming, jumping up on tables, tearing up stuff. Doesn't make any difference. It makes no difference to your life. It's just you're watching somebody else's drama where you could be working on your finances, your faith, your family, your future. I want you to be mindful and not fill your mind up with garbage and junk stuff. I want you to fill your mind up with the pure, the powerful, and the positive, and let that be your source. We're going to be right back after this quick break. We got more to come. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and for years I've told people that in order to have a greater life, it starts by having greater individual days. If you have a great day and you repeat that great day 7 times, you've had a great week. And you repeat that week 4 times, you've had a greater month. And then repeat that month 12 times, you've had a greater year, and you're on your way to a greater life. And it starts with that individual day. I recommend you start each day with something powerful. I call it the pure, the powerful, and the positive. Rather than starting your day with bad news, how many people got killed, or how many children got snatched, or how many fires there were, I recommend you start your day with something to inspire and empower and encourage you to make this day a great day. We're excited to announce the start of Jolley TV on my Facebook page. Go to Willie Jolley, Willie.Jolley on Facebook. Just go to Willie.Jolley on Facebook and get ready for a great day and a great life. Have a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Show, and I am excited. I got my special guest, Gerhard Gschwantdner. Now, Gerhard, you talk about mindset. I love what you just said. Am I mindful? Is my mind full? And then you also said that you've got to work on your mindset, and that develops your skill set, which then moves to your tool set. Describe them, because some people might not understand what those three. You've talked about mindset and the fact it is your what shapes your thinking. But what skill set versus tool set?
Well, the skill set in the case of sales is the ability to sell. The mindset shapes the skill set, meaning that our beliefs and attitudes and behaviors are all shaped from what we have learned in the past. And there's a definite relationship. So our belief systems come from our parents. So we observe their behaviors, we look at their beliefs, and then we shape our own beliefs about marriage or about religion, about sex, about work, about love, about empathy, about gratitude, and we integrate that. And what we can do is we can change all that. And what I'm trying to tell people is that your memories are like seeds, and you can decide to water the flowers and stop watering the weeds.
Wow. Water the flowers, your positive thoughts, and stop watering the weeds, all those negative thoughts. Now, before we go any further, because some people, I got a lot of truckers who are my dear friends. Hey, I love her. Shout out to all the truckers, as well as the people who are traveling across the country in their family cars who might have to jump off. I want them to know how to reach you. What your website is, Gerhard, and how they can reach you and get more information, get your resources, and some of the things you get. You have a conference that happen, a number of conferences throughout the year, and where can they learn about your conferences, Sales 3.0 conferences? Where can they get information on you if they want to bring you in to speak? Where can they get a subscription? All the above. Tell them about that.
Well, the best way to reach us is go to sellingpower.com. And you can click on magazine, and then you can click on subscriptions. And what I like to do today is, because I love Willie Jolley. He is such a positive force, and I want to give back and join with you and give everybody who goes to sellingpower.com, clicks on magazine on subscription, I want you to get a 1-year free subscription.
What? Are you serious? You're going to get...
Absolutely.
Hey! Awesome. All right, tell them how to do that. Folks, this is big, okay? This is huge. All right, tell them how to do this. Wow.
Go to sellingpower.com, click on magazine, click on subscription, and use the word Willie, W-I-L-L-I-E, Willie, as your passcode. And that it reduces the subscription price from $29 to $0.
Wow. Wow.
The magic word is Willie, and
wow.
That's it. It's $29.
Man, I can't thank you enough. I love when people give my listeners some goodies, and I can't think of a better one. Folks, I want everybody to go get that and get that free subscription to the online magazine at Selling Power Magazine. Just put in the password Willie. Get it, read the articles. They will change your life. Even if you say, well, I'm not in sales, they will give you some principles that will help you to persuade and influence your family, your children, your friends, your co-workers, because influence is about selling an idea or a concept or a value. Great parents sell values on their children. Great husbands or wives or spouses sell their mates on a way of thinking, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, our dreams, our goals. And it's all about influence. And I try and influence my children all the time. I'm always trying to sell them on seeing the values that I want them to live by. So this is powerful. Thank you so much, Gerhard. Well, you've been talking about mindset, and you started down a path. I want to make sure we get some more resource in here that you talk about it. And when we had lunch, you blew my mind with your triangle your pyramid of how people get the mindset. Please share that because it's profound. Folks, this is profound. Those who are writing this down, you're going to want to write this. Go ahead.
So picture a pyramid with 3 levels. On the bottom level, you have the implanted mindset, and that's what you learn by growing up from your parents. And you picture that as a garden, and you can water the flowers and stop watering the weeds. That's very simple. You can remove the rocks from the past. And the second level is the imprinted mindset, and that's your exposure to people that really impress you. You know, there are a lot of people like Willie Jolley. There's Tony Robbins. There's so many, wonderful people that dedicate their lives to helping other people. And I give you one quick example. There is a Yale University study. Dr. Becca Levy found that people with a positive mindset live on average 7.5 years longer. So your exposure to positive information is going to help you. And there are a lot of people that are willing to do it. So the positive mindset can extend your life. It will enhance your performance, and a negative mindset will shorten your life and block your performance. So you want to be very careful about the imprinted mindset and choose people that help you move forward. And you don't want to hang out with negative people. Mary Kay once told me, change your heroes and you change the direction of your life.
Wow. Woo, boy. Now that's huge. And that is why one of the things I want to tell everybody, watch your eye gates, your ear gates, and your heart gate. What gets into your heart and mind? Be careful about what you watch on television. Be careful about what you listen to. I don't listen to negative stuff. I don't want it impacting me. I don't dwell on the negative. I don't watch it. I don't listen. That's why I tell my son and my children, be careful about things like pornography because it will impact. You know, they say garbage in, garbage out. No, garbage in, garbage stays. It stays and it impacts you and you can't get it out, and it impacts your thinking and your actions and your activities. So that is why this is critical, that your mindset, positive mindset, you live an average 7 years longer and have greater performance. Negative mindset, have a lot shorter life and negative impact on your performance. So you folks, this is critical, and I've often told people in my speeches, if you come to hear me at the Get Motivated tour or some of the events we're doing. By the way, Les Brown and I are going to be launching a tour soon, so get your eyes and ears open. And for those who were wondering about my one-man show, the JollyLiveTour.com site is up and going, JollyLiveTour.com. You can hear the music and motivation. But what I tell people is first work on your mindset, then skill set. And first mindset, then skill set, because many people worked on their skill set before mindset. They were athletes, and they got $1 million contract on draft day, and then statistics show 5 years after retirement, over 70% of professional athletes are broke because they worked on the skill set before working on the mindset. Start with the mindset, then the skill set. Well, Gerhard Gschwantdner, you have been able to do that. You've been able to help people. You started a business. You got this mindset. Now, what about the type of people you allow in your mind and your life, and how you set goals that make a difference? Talk about that.
Well, I think it's very important to approach goals from a 3-part perspective. One is you want to think about what do you want for yourself? What do you want to get out of life? And that's a very fundamental question. And the second question is, why do you want what you want? You know, I had a recent meeting with a sales team and asked them about their dreams and goals. And one said, I want to go heli skiing to Alaska. A second person said, I want to do a yoga workshop in India. And the third one said, I want to drive a Bugatti over the weekend. So everybody has different dreams and different goals. But the important question is why. And I want to give you a couple of stories, examples that you want to think about. I don't know whether you're familiar with golf, but there's a British golfer, Justin Rose. He grew up in South Africa. And at the age of 17, he won the British Open out of the blue. And on the last hole, he hit a 50-yard shot from the rough, and it landed in the cup. I mean, it was amazing. But then he turned pro the same day, and he missed 21 consecutive cuts. And for 10 years, he was meandering, and it was not getting. He could not recapture his former glory. So he saw a golf psychologist, and the psychologist asked him, "Why? Why do you play golf?" And Justin says, "Well, I play to win. I play to beat the competition. I play for the gallery. I play to have fun, you know." And the psychologist said, "I don't think that this external motivation is going to help you. You want to look inside." And he said, "Well, what do I find inside?" And after a number of conversations, he came up with the idea, "I want to know how good I can become with every shot that I take." So he was focusing not on the leaderboard, not on the competition, not on the next shot, or not dwelling on the previous shot. He stayed in the moment and dug deep within himself to make the shot that he had in front of him the best ever that he was capable of doing. And he won the U.S. Open.
Wow. Wow. Now, you tell a story. You got to share this one. Buster Douglas. You got to share that one.
Oh, yeah. Buster Douglas, that was 25 years ago, where he was fighting Mike Tyson, and he got a contract to go to Tokyo. And the odds for Buster Douglas to win against Mike Tyson were 42-1. I mean, almost impossible odds.
Right.
And at the end of the 8th round, Mike Tyson knocked Douglas down to the ground, and he stayed down for the count of 9. And Douglas came up. He was staggering, but he was safe by the bell. And in round 9, the next round, he came back a little bit and punched Mike Tyson a couple of times. And then in the 10th round, he got him. He had an uppercut. Mike Tyson's head went up in the air. He flew down on the mat, and he just stayed down. And James Buster Douglas became the boxing champion of the world, beating Mike Tyson, beating 42-1 odds. So after the fight, in the interview, reporters asked him, "How were you able to find the strength to recover? You were knocked down. You almost lost the fight." And he says, "Well, I promised my mother that I will reach deep inside and become the best I can be, and I want to become the world champion. I wanted to do it for you. That's my gift to you." And what happened is that his mother passed away 24 days before the fight.
Wow. So he had a reason why. Woo, hold that thought, because we got to come, because you got a line that we got to share with people. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and for sure, your best is yet to come.
Life had enough ups and downs, but Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart wants to do is fly.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs, because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it, because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
Gonna take it to the top. Motivated, highly motivated. Motivated, I'm never gonna stop.
And we're back with my special guest, Gerhard Gschwantdner, CEO and founder of Selling Power Magazine. He was telling the story of Buster Douglas, who was knocked to the canvas, got almost counted out, but got up, gathered himself, went through the 8th round or 9th round, whatever, but then he came back and knocked Mike Tyson out and became the heavyweight champion of the world. His mother had died 24 days earlier, and he had promised her he was going to give his all and not go down like a loser, but going to be a winner. Tell the rest of the story, Gerhard.
Well, the rest of the story is the bigger the why, the bigger the try.
Woo! Folks, that's what I wanted you to hear. The bigger the why, the bigger the try. Woo! I love that. When you say that, I just love to hear you say that. The bigger the why, the bigger the try. Woo!
And you want to be clear why you do things. Why do you decide on the goal that you have? Is that goal really in line with what you're dreaming about? And we talked about the 3-level pyramid. We talked about the implanted mindset at the base. We talked about the imprinted mindset in the middle, where you learn from other role models, from other heroes. But at the top of the pyramid is your inner magic. That is the inspired mindset. Everybody has a special talent. And when I interviewed Mary Kay, she made it very clear. She said, Gerhard, everybody is born with an instrument. And you need to learn how to play it. And she says, unfortunately, so many people die with their music still unplayed.
So many people died with their music inside of them. All the great things that they could do, had the capacity to do, but they never did it because of fear or because somebody told them they couldn't do it when they were a child. They let that influence them for the rest of their lives when they had so much potential, so much ability, yet they have settled for less than their possibilities and always struggling through life when they could have had the full gamut. Oh, that turns me on.
Well, there's one more thing that I want to share from Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yes.
I interviewed him, and he was an amazing motivator, and he has written a book, The Sky's the Limit. And I remember Sarah Blakely I don't know whether you know the story of she invented Spanx and she created a big business empire. But when she was 16 years old, her best friend died in a car crash. Her parents got divorced, and she got depressed. And she thought that the world is a terrible place to be in, and her dad bought her a set of tapes from Dr. Wayne Dyer, how to be a no-limit person. And she played those tapes in the car over 400 times. And she listened to this over and over until she could repeat the entire series verbatim. And she imprinted that in her mind. And that became really her inspiration. And she realized that she was a special person. And in the series, Wayne Dyer talks about that we are all unique. We are one of a kind. There is nobody on this earth that was born on the same day, at the same hour, in the same place, in the same geography, in the same hospital, with the same genes.
Right.
There is nobody.
Right.
Everybody is a unique version. And that uniqueness sort of gives you an edge when you realize that you're uniquely qualified to become the best person you can be. And if you develop a belief system that's a no-limit belief system, a no-limit thinker does not think about obstacles. A no-limit thinker thinks about opportunities. So Sarah had the idea for Spanx. And they told her, you cannot get a patent for that. You're not going to get funding for that. You're not going to be able to manufacture this. You're not going to get distribution. And you're not going to succeed. You're a woman. And she got a patent lawyer after going through several, got the patent for Spanx, got the money, found a manufacturer, found the distribution, developed her business, and today she's 44 years old, and according to Forbes magazine, she's worth $1.1 billion.
Wow. Wow. Woo, folks. That's why I want you to hear this. It's possible for you. It's possible for you to live an incredible life and leave a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, and your family members. It's possible for you to be a game changer, a world changer, a world shaker up. Or as Muhammad Ali said, I'm going to shake up the world. You can shake up the world, but you got to get a mindset that doesn't talk you out of it, but talks you into it. And that's why I wanted Gerhard Gschwantdner to be on this show. When I met him, and we talked and we had lunch, I said, man, you got to be on my show. People need to hear this. I was so inspired and encouraged. And so I want to encourage you before we get into the last couple minutes of the interview. Again, Gerhard, you have go so gracious. Oh, my goodness. I'm so inspired that you're going to give my listeners a special gift. Tell them where they can get in touch with you and the gift that you have been so gracious to give them. Please tell them again.
Well, go to sellingpower.com. That's our magazine website. Click on magazine. Click on subscriptions. And when you go to the subscription form, type in the code word, the secret word, Willie, Willie. And you get a one-year subscription to Selling Power free. We charge $29 a year, but I'm so impressed with Dr. Willie Jolley that I want to make a contribution to his listeners.
Amen. Amen. Woo! I am so excited about that. Now, tell me a little bit about your 3.0 conferences. People might want to come to some of those conferences. You have them all over the country. And where can they find out where the dates are for the different conferences that happen? They get it all on sellingpowermagazine.com as well?
Yes.
It's just sellingpower.com, right?
Sellingpower.com is good.
You have 3.0.
Sales 3.0 is for sales managers, where we help sales organizations align people, process, and technology, create a much better organization, benefit from the latest technologies like CRM, artificial intelligence. There's so much happening in technology. Technology is transforming the way we live. It's transforming the way we sell, the way we buy, and accelerates everything. And it's changing so fast that we have 3 conferences in San Francisco, in Las Vegas, and in Philadelphia this year. And I want to add something that when you and I talk, I always get inspired.
Thank you.
And I have come to the conclusion that your transformation from growing up in Charlottesville, growing up in very modest surroundings.
Yep.
Your mom was a hairdresser, and she lived in her own house, and she made a contribution to the community, and she raised you really well.
My grandma.
Your grandma, right?
Right.
And what I thought about is you were a transformation agent because your grandma was a transformation agent.
That's right, she was.
And we should look at how coal transforms into a diamond.
Woo!
How?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, think about how a grain of sand transforms into a pearl. Or think about the magic, how a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. And I can say transformation is the essence of life.
That's right.
And you want to honor your life by transforming into a peak performer by transforming your mindset.
Starts with your mindset, folks. Your mindset impacts every part of your life. Nito Cobain, when he is here, he talks about mindset. Les Brown talks about mindset. If you've ever heard me speak, talk about mindset. Gerhard and I talked about the same kind of ideas when we had lunch. I don't think we talked about anything about what kind of car you drive. I have no idea what kind of car you drive. He doesn't know what kind of car I drive. We don't know any of that. All we know was that we have the capacity to live an incredible life that can change people's lives, and that's what we're expected and excited to do. And so I am grateful. And I know about the car. You can drive any kind of car you want, because once you change your mindset, you will grow your capacity to get whatever you want. And that's what I wanted to do, and have you all to hear this man. He is a brilliant man, a brilliant thinker. I want you to go to sellingpower.com. Get the magazine, read the issues, share it with your sales team, go to Sales 3.0 conference. Gerhard, we got about a minute left. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I think it all begins and ends with what you believe. And there are 3 letters in the word believe, L-I-E. And in some of your beliefs that are implanted in your mind right now, there's a lie. And what I'd like you to think about it is, transform your limiting beliefs, those are the lies, into liberating beliefs, and engage in a life that's liberating for yourself and others.
Get rid of the lie in that belief and start liberating your mind to the potential and possibilities for your future. That is why I wanted Gerhard Gschwantdner on our show. And I'm so grateful for him coming to be a part of this show and being my guest. And let me tell you, folks, for sure, you're going to hear a lot from him and I, but we're going to be doing a lot of things together, and the best truly is yet to come. Thank you, Gerhard.
Thank you, Willie. I feel honored, humbled, and you rock.
Oh, thank you. Folks, listen to this show again over and over, and then go to the podcast so you can hear the podcast of it. We got a new podcast. And finally, visit my website, wjspeaks.com, and hit the All Access badge. And remember, for sure, your best is yet to come. God bless you. Have a great week on purpose.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do?
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.